Hey yo guys, it's me K42 and welcome back to another mod review. Today I'm going to be reviewing Bells because I believe the second bonus is new, and I haven't reviewed Bells. So, and also I really need a mod review out because it's been a little while, but let's get into it. Beat 1. Oh, sorry about that. Just a basic kick. Nothing too big there. It's just kind of a kick pattern. Oh, I forgot to comment on the character design. Sorry about that. The shirt's pretty good. I mean, the hat. I like the callback to the hat. Honestly, that's something most Incredibox mods don't do. They don't, do the callbacks. How Incredibox. I feel like a lot of people don't notice the things that Incredibox reuses because sometimes there were shirts that were reused, hats were reused, heck, even glasses and masks and whatnot. And shirt stuff as well. Like there's bandana, a weird kind of shape kind of thing. People don't really notice that, and mod makers and character designers usually ignore these kind of things. But I don't, and um, this is it's pretty nice that Ram, well, at least back then, brought it back. Nothing to comment about the sounds, but the character design, honestly, the shirt's pretty good, and the hat, I like the callback, but it's going to beat 2. So basically, that snare does not match the mouth. That like it's like I don't know. Oh, you have a little bit of a k, k in there, and then it's going. I know it's like a more of a, but you can hear a little bit of k in there. So I mean, the mouth doesn't fit very well. I mean, the layering doesn't sound very right for the mouth animation. But I mean, other than this being very simplistic, it's not too bad. The character design is pretty good. I mean, obviously since it's winter, the hat it's got to fit. So far, the first two sounds are more musical than actually Christmas related, or winter related. Um, but yeah, character design's all right. Beats pretty simple but all right. Animation pretty simple but all right. Let's go on to beat 3. It's a little bit finicky with the eyebrow and the eyes closing for the animation, but it's not too bad for basic hi-hat kind of thing. The pattern's not too bad. It's it's not too bad, and I like the reuse being. I like that she reused the hi-hat that you hear during like Incredibox. It's not too bad, honestly. It's pretty good. It's really basic again. The animation is not too bad, just a bit finicky, and the character design again matches pretty well. You've got the earmuffs, and you got this nice winter coat. Yeah, it's not too bad, honestly. But again, 3 sounds, not really Christmas related, really more musical related. Let's go to beat 4. So this one's a little bit more, it's less like basic than the other two. It's got a little bit more structure to it. It's got more to it in general. I don't like how the hair gets cut off a little bit. I mean, if you just move like the connectors like to the side of the head a little bit up and then just keep it there. I mean, it'd look way cleaner, but this just kind of looks cut off when it comes to the goggles. The goggles looks good. The sound is pretty unique, and it's the closest thing we've got to Christmas. Not really. It's kind of cold sounding, but it's not really, Christmas related. The shirt and the goggles, they're looking pretty good. It's just the hair, it just looks out of whack, but the sound's pretty good. And let me check the animation. I don't know why his, like, right there, where his lip, like, on the left, raises up. I don't feel, I feel like that isn't really necessary. It doesn't really work very well, or at least right right there, where it goes. I don't really like it. But let's go into beat 5. I don't really like this sound. Um, the character design, the character concept, the character innovation is really good. Where he's frozen, he can't move or anything other than his eyes, but he moves his body like back and forth and the clinking and whatnot. You've got all this, yeah. Um, I have a comment about this, but it'll be later when it comes to an effect. But let's go on to effect 1. It's a really basic bass. It really just kind of goes down and just down and down. It goes kind of like that. It really just it doesn't go up. I might a little bit, but other than that, it really just kind of goes down. Because it would be nice to sprinkle like a little bit of something like that. Again, the character design, the shirt, Christmas related, but the top isn't. It's really just kind of it's a cube with this ring around it. Character design's alright. It's good for this mod compared to the other designs, like the cube wise, but like it really just doesn't fit a Christmas vibe. The head doesn't. Overall, the base, I feel like it could have a little bit more uniqueness to it. It's in this mod, it's more or less just a slow progression downwards. Let's go to effect 2. I feel like the animation, especially since the sound has no like actual mouth animation for the sound, the animation from him not smile from his eyes closed to smiling could have been way more clean. Obviously, again, it's Christmas. The sound is Christmas related, and I'm not going to comment on that. The character design is a pretty good concept. It's a really good concept for this mod, and it works. It's just that flow, like the way the animation would have gone from like straight faced, like eyes closed to smiling. I think it would look less unsettling if it was just more smoother, and also if the mouth was just a little bit closed a little bit more, and the eyes. Well, nah, the eyes are all right. It's just maybe close the mouth a little bit more. But let's go to effect 3. Now that's a really good sound concept. Like that's something you really like hear when when it's the winter. You get this winter breeze going around. It's going past your ears. You can hear it. That's a really good concept. The hat wouldn't work very well in like a good weather, and also the like the shirt is really exposed right there to skin to coldness. So obviously the character design being out in the winter isn't a nice thing because like you got so much exposure. But again, the sound concept is pretty good. The character design is good. It just wouldn't fit in the winter. Um, let me check the animation. The way where his cheeks kind of like puff out and in, there's no sinkage there. It's really just kind of random, just to show. Well, not to show, just to have something there, because it would just look pretty lazy if he didn't put that there. But I think it could have had a more like flowage there. It could have actually fit into the sound instead of a little less random. But let's go to effect 4. Another really good concept, honestly. You've got Christmas bells. Is it? Yeah, that's done. So Christmas bells. That's a really nice concept. The character design looks very warm. As you would dress for winter, unlike this guy. Um, it's a really nice outfit for the conditions of winter. The animation was pretty well executed. I like how he's eyeing around, kind of like how Incredibox does that a little bit with some of his characters. He eyes around before it goes off again at a lower tone. I'm glad it wasn't the same tone. I'm glad it was lower, or higher. I can't remember, but yeah. Honestly, probably the best sound like collectively. Probably the best character collectively, because like the concept, the execution, it's just probably the best like collectively. Let's go to effect 5. This is where, you got a little bit of a epitome here. Don't really know what that means. You have a hi-hatty sound, and kind of like here, for an example. Like it's a hi-hatty kind of sound, and since this sounds a little this sounds a little bit more of a beat like this. So if these two were switched around, I mean I understand why this is here, ice is blue. Well, if it was like, because this would just work better like sound wise, like I don't know. This is more of a a a, a hi-hat sound. I mean, I feel like it would have been better if it had like a present ripping sound, because that would work as an effect and also work into his character design, as he's a present. He's in a present, which is a good concept. Honestly, it's a really good concept. The animation isn't too bad for the sound. It's just, why is it a hi-hat sound? Oh, but from what I remember, this mod is like 2 years old. Actually, no, it's 1 year old. Yeah, it's 1 years old, and well, roughly 1 year old. So, but let's go to a melody 1. Again with that downward progression, it goes dun 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 dun. It has a downward progression. Again, it would have been better if that last one was the same as the second progression, to where it would go into like a loop thing where it's a dun dun, a dun. No wait, dun 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 dun. More flowy. But the character design and the character design, no, the character animation, character design, and character design, the character animation, and the character concept is really good. The way it, goes from the top and then down and then back up to the top, going backwards. It's really good. Obviously, there's no mouth movements. I think most of the melodies don't have mouth movements because of that. Again, that's kind of a REM thing. I've mentioned this before. REM kind of tries to avoid animating the mouth. It's even in X Run, which was made literally like this year. She still tries to kind of avoid mouth animation. Not really. Well, no, I'm sure I know why. It's really it's way easier to not actually animate the mouth, because animating the mouth is just so much harder. If you have just like lights, like where it's just like 3 dots. The first one lights up, the second one lights up, the third one, and then the third one stops, and then the second one stops, and the first one stops. It's way easier if the mouth isn't moving while that's happening. So I understand why she does it, but it's just kind of it's getting obvious. But since Incredibox average fan age is roughly 8 years old, it's not going to be as common to them. So they get mad at me when I talk about it, but it's really just it's really common. I'm not really sure how people can't see that. But let's go on the melody too. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the sound here. This one is really good for Christmassy. It really fits really well. And again, the character design, shirt, and I mean that it's a snowman. It's a really good concept as well, more of like a snowman kind of thing. But it's pretty good. Let's go on to let's actually go into melody 2. Again, this time it's really subtle, but it does go down. It goes dun 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 dun. It's really subtle this time, but again, it's only a section where every time it goes down, and there's 4 progressions. Every progression it goes slightly down and then back up to the top. Again, with that's 3 times now. I'm not really sure how many times that will happen in the mod. This is starting to get a little bit repetite. It's a bit. It's too the repeti. It's repetition. A little bit too much repetition. But you know, it's not too bad for a sound. It's really flowy. It really fits the character design again with the head earmuffs. That's the second time now, but not too bad. That's there's two, but it's a really good design. It's a really good like sound. It's not too bad. The animation. A little bit. It should be a little bit different in certain parts, and it doesn't work very well, especially in the fact that this is, you know, not like a sound that was made by the human voice. That's why Incredibox mods and um Incredibox in general is so much different. I'm pretty sure every single sound, at least at some point, was vocally sampled. Like say bass one. You can bass one in V8. I mean no, effect one in V8. The bass. You can tell because it's like You can tell that it goes. It's transitioning from less like a less like the bass is heavier at some parts. You can tell it's a transition from heavier to less heavy to where the actual human voice can be heard. Um, and like it's effect two, how it's really affected, but you can tell that it was made by a human voice. Um, but yeah, for most of the mods, it's almost entirely computeric. Like it's really like okay, computeric. Really there's like no human element to it. All the sounds, like all the sounds in like new Incredibox mods, or most of them are um not provided. Like there's no human samplage except for 42 edition, um, which sets them apart from Incredibox, and that's really why Incredibox is just so much better than them. It's just true. But let's just go on to I'll save that for like another video. Let's go into Melody 3. Okay, so this one, I'm not gonna listen to the second rotation. I don't really want to. It's again no mouth animation. I'm willing to bet that, well, not bet. I'm pretty sure that this has 4 to 6 frames in the sprite, like head frames, cause like all it is like eyes closed, and it opens, and the mouth doesn't move at all. So there's not very many heads to it. Concept isn't too bad, especially since, Christmas is based like off Christianity and the birth of Jesus Christ. So, the halo, representing an angel makes sense. The concept isn't too bad, and also the cross. Um, the concept's not too bad. The sound works with Christmas. But it's actually pretty good concept kind of thing there. Let's go into Melody 4. See, with Incredible Polo's trumpets in like Incredibox, you can tell that they're vocal trumpets made by the vocal cords that was like trying to mock a trumpet. This wasn't even a trumpet. This is more of a saxophone or trombone, and I don't know, it just doesn't fit as a melody, and it just doesn't fit into Incredibox. I'm sorry. The character design's pretty good. The animation, no, it's meant for a trumpet. I don't know. You cannot fit like a brassy kind of sound that's like it sounds exactly like an instrument. You just can't. It just doesn't work. If it was a trumpet, I would have been fine with it, but that just doesn't work. I'm sorry. I can't like stick on that. Let's go to Melody 5. Okay, done. Fourth time. Fourth time that there has been a done kind of thing. It's, again, I know this is an old mod. Rem has gotten way better at making these mods. So this is no representation of what Rem is now. I'm just commenting on it because of the resurgence of it, and I needed a mod to review. The character design concept is not that bad. It's a really good character design and it's a good concept. The animation, again, for not having mouth animations, a REM thing, is, not that bad. It's honestly pretty good. It's again that thing. It's just it's getting really repetitive. I'm sorry, but it's getting really repetitive. Let's go to voice one. Okay, so it's a woman's voice. It's at a female tone. I like this better than most of the voices well, some of the voices for REM's mods, because they sound super artificial. This one at least sounds like it could have been sang. Again, it's still got a little bit of artificialness to it, but it sounds like it was sung, unlike other REM voices. This sounds, like it was sung. And again, the concept is really great. It's like the average Christmas, fit. You've got the Christmas hat, you've got like the fluffy white stuff with a red jacket. It's a really nice thing. Um, Rem likes to feature females in her mods a lot, which is good. Honestly, I don't have anything against it. Um, yeah. So let's go into voice two. I'm sorry I stopped it, but right after I talked about this, we go straight into that. Okay, I'll just come in. Okay, I'm just gonna stop it. The fact that that went from a more male bassy tone, well, not bassy, like a deeper tone to a female high tone and then straight back down. It's just this one is just so artificial. I don't know. I just you can tell that I'm not really a big fan of like this artificially kind of thing. I mean, it works for the mod to get like somewhat Incredible Polo-esque, but it just doesn't sound like for me, knowing like how the Incredible Polo style is, it just doesn't fit with me. It doesn't work with me. Character design again works pretty well. Um, I don't like how the hair is cut off. It just looks really weird from that angle. Like, well, not from the angle. It just doesn't look very nice with the flow of things. But the character design isn't too bad. The concept's pretty good, but it's not too bad.
Here comes the white falling snow, where all the freeze comes down low, right all around the way downtown, enjoying Christmas with its sound.
I'm sorry, but I feel like there's a little bit too much layering. I feel like there's an effect to it that just kind of ruins it. The person who sang it, I'm sorry to say this, kind of like most mods, can't sing very well. You can tell that their English isn't their first language. How it just comes out. Um, or they're just not really good at singing. But I'm leaning towards English, not first language. I mean, yes, this would work for a Christmas mod if it was just sang better and it didn't have so much layering. Like Incredible Polo's layering, like the vocals are perfectly matched and they're like perfectly executed. This is just like adding, just to make it more. It just like adding more voice to your voice doesn't always make it sound better. Adding something to it. And it's just the fact that this person isn't the best singer and that layering that just screws the sound up. It just does not sound good whatsoever. And I did see a little bit of bonus too. I'm kind of sad that this was included in bonus too because it kind of ruins the sound. It's character design again. It's a pretty good concept, but the sound ruins it entirely. It's just not good. Let's go to voice 4.
La 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 la.
That is a different kind of thing. That one sound was executed way better. It had a good concept to it as well. That's a really good concept for a sound. Again, the character design kind of following the theme of Christmassy kind of fit.
La 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 la.
Animation being a little bit wonky, but that's kind of old REM thing. It's a really good sound. It's a really good like this one was executed so much better. Like 2 to 3 tones like a nice high-pitched one that's like more in the background, and then a lower pitched one that's more in forward. That's like the main two. Maybe there's a third one sneaking in there. This one, they're all at like the same level of like one's a tone higher, one's a tone in the middle, one's a tone lower, and they all like are at the same volume. So they're all like at 100 volume. So they just do not mix well. This one, like the middle tone that you can hear more is at 100, and then like the higher tone is like a little lower at like 50. Um, but yeah, it's a really good. It's one of the best voices I've actually ever heard, and I mean that genuinely.
Ho, 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 ho.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah, that concept's pretty. That concept makes sense. Yeah, the Incredibox style, like art style, does not fit for Santa, but the concept makes sense. You know what? I'm gonna give it this to him. This was a very smart way to make another voice. Honestly, no comment on it. It's just like really smart. Let's go into the mix. Yeah. Yeah. So that was the mix. Sorry it wasn't very long. I feel like, see, I'm gonna drag the sounds that I really did, like. I feel like we're like I just couldn't include into a mix. It just wouldn't work out. So basically, the entire voices. Also, this one. Sorry, that's like 7 sounds, roughly 7. Yeah, that is 7 sounds. 7 sounds I just didn't think would work. These two, I forgot this one existed, and I just didn't feel like using this one. I'm think I'm gonna skip section review for this. Actually, no, I won't. Voices last. I'm sorry, but voices overall, their sound, like their character designs, like concept wise, is really good. Honestly, it's not too bad. Um, but it's the sounds. The sounds really mess it up. Then it would be effects. Character design's not too bad. Sounds, repetitiveness, and not too. There's not like up there, but and then second, it would be melodies. They're good concepts. The sounds are pretty good. They kind of sound a little bit too similar, like like they're kind of belly kind of. Like I think these three, the first three are really kind of similar when it comes to bells. I think the fifth one is as well. And again, that dun 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 dun, that I don't know. It's a little too repetitive, and that's like within three of these sounds, three or four. Yeah, just like three. But first place beats. Other than beat five, the beats are just so good. The first three work so well together. I've never seen a mod where three beats work so well together. Like that kick and snare combo is great. And then beat four works just as well with it. It's just the beats are amazing in this mod. I'm gonna be skipping um the bonuses because I don't want to talk about them because with these kind of mods I feel like the bonus just isn't gonna be for me. I feel like it's gonna be more lore and the sound it's just gonna be a bunch of sounds from the mod and there's gonna be no remixing. Um Also, I gotta get back, that Snapchat earlier that I got a notification for. That's gonna be on the video because I can't really edit it out. Gotta get back to my girlfriend. I'll see you guys. Goodbye.